Hello, Buddhas. I've got a little monster here with me who's just in a mood, so we're going to include this in the video. And something just fluttered down onto my balcony, but I'll look at that later. What I wanted to talk about today, after that very boring intro, is actually something interesting that someone told me last night. I have some friends of mine who are going on a canoe trip, and they will be paddling some 200 kilometers. And they really like doing this kind of stuff. And they were just saying, oh, I hope it's not too cold, and we weren't trying to get the good weather. They're like really into what they're doing. So I was saying that it's very tough, right? They're so tough. I'm so impressed by their toughness and how they're doing. And their response immediately, it's quite intuitive to me. It's not about being tough, they said. It's about knowing what you like. So I've been thinking on this one, and they don't see it as being tough to travel 200 kilometers in a canoe in fall of Ottawa weather, which could theoretically be around 0 degrees. They don't think that that's a tough thing. They think that that's something they enjoy, right? So on the outside, someone like myself who's never done that, I could perceive that as like, they're being tough, they're so strong-willed, and they are just going ahead regardless of the difficulties. But they don't see it that way. Because if they saw it as being something tough to do, they wouldn't want to do it, right? They see it as something that they enjoy doing, regardless of the circumstances. That's what actually makes it fun, okay? Have you ever played a game or a video game against someone who's not very good at it, or it's their first time, or they're inexperienced? And you're absolutely wiping the floor with them, and you're just like, this is unsatisfying. This is not tough. There's nothing about this that's actually challenging my skill. I'm so good that I don't need to put any effort into what I'm doing. I feel like we get to that point a lot in our lives, and we choose not to challenge ourselves anymore, right? I think a blatant example of that is a 9-to-5 job, okay? We are in a position where it's no longer tough for us to put food on the table. It's no longer tough for us to get a paycheck that's, I guess, relatively adequate. And we settle. We just go, okay, whatever. I'm in my comfort zone. I'm okay with that. And I think that's what the mind wants, right? The conscious mind wants to keep us in a position of, ouch. It wants to keep us in a position where we are safe and secure, and unknown things, difficult things, tough things are scary to the conscious mind. Now, if we also adhere to the idea that everything in our reality is our subconscious mind, and everything that happens is just a projection of our inner thoughts that we're not even really aware of, then toughness is just a perception, difficulty is just a perception, hard to do is just a perception. And we need to start challenging ourselves on the day-to-day, the daily challenge, the daily grind, the daily, all right, what's something hard that you've never done before? Pick up that heavier weight in the gym today, or make that extra call, or do that work that you've never done before, or honestly, in my case, talk to people on the internet like you never have before and put yourself out there. I wanted to do this for a very long time, but I always perceived it as something being tough, right? You have to have something to say, you have to write a script, you have to have good camera equipment and all this stuff. But as it turns out, all you need is a really furry, cuddly co-host, and you're good to go. I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm filming these videos on the camera on my phone, right? I've got an iPhone. It's a good phone, but it's not the fanciest camera on the planet. But you can still hear and see what I'm saying, and you can interact with the video on YouTube because I'm able to edit it, and I'm able to upload it to YouTube, and then on my computer I'm able to type out a better description and all that. But really, 99% of the work is done by what I'm doing right now. And it's because I no longer see it as something that's tough. I see it as something that I like to do. And that's what really hit me. They said, that canoeing 200 kilometers in the fall is something that they wanted to do. And the so much kudos to that, because it's not something I personally, ow, your nails are so big. It's not something I personally feel called to do at this exact moment of my life, but not seeing it as something tough, but seeing it as something you enjoy is the secret. And I think that you can apply that to literally anything in your life. I'm a really avid biker. And this year I've done some bike routes that I'd never done before, because I used to think they were super tough, they were hard, they were beyond my skill. But I embraced that during the lockdown and the quarantines, and I went out and I biked up to the highest point in Ottawa, and I loved it. Was it tough? Yeah, sure. It required effort, it required work. Did I enjoy it though? 100%. And I would do it again, except I got distracted by doing other things like this. So it's not a matter of doing stuff because it's tough, but it is a matter of doing stuff that pushes you because you enjoy to do it. So for every single person, you're gonna have a unique situation. No two people are the same, and no two people have the same desires or likes or things that they find tough or enjoyable. So find yours and embrace it. And if you don't know 100% what it is, because I don't think we ever permanently know what it is, and that's constantly changing, go and try stuff, right? Again, I'm using YouTube as an example because I think it's an incredible platform. This, at first, was tough. But the more comfortable you get, the more time you put into it, once you've put out that content, once you've made that impression, the toughness doesn't change, but your perspective on that does. And I no longer find it tough to do this. I find it extremely satisfying and very rewarding to do this. Even if one person watches a video, it's like, yeah, I got a message to one person, fantastic. If I can get that message to 1,000 people, that's 1,000 times fantastic, right? Every single person that I can influence with this now is my goal. And it's no longer tough for me to film the videos. The thing that I'm feeling the toughness on is the getting the videos to people and the getting the views up and getting the subscriber count up and that. And I'm trying to not worry about that because I have the faith and the belief that that's no longer going to be tough for me. And it doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen to everyone who believes strong enough. And that is 100% the approach that I am taking with my life. That is 100% the point of all of these videos, is that you have to believe it for the kitty to get it. And once the kitty believes it, the kitty gets it. And I think cats are incredible manifestors, and maybe we'll do a whole video about that at some point. But until the next time, let's get some comments down below of what you might perceive as being tough that you enjoy. Do a bit of soul searching, write that down below, let other people know, and we can all be inspired by each other on that. And if you can comment, of course, subscribe, like the video, it helps out the algorithm like you would not believe. Copied that from Superman Tarot. And until the next time, peace.